Hello guys, my name is Rihan and today I'm going to share with you a quick overview of the periodic table of elements. This video is quite great if you just want to overview on a test coming up soon or you just want to learn a bit about the periodic table. I'm not just going to list every single element in it, but I'm going to explain each category of the periodic table. So let's start. Now, there are many ways you can classify the periodic table. For example, this would be the first group in it, and the second group, and you can classify them as group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, or you can do group 1 and group 2, then move here, group 3, then group 4 here, group 5, and this one as 3B, 4B, 5B. So, another way you can classify them is by using periods. For example, this would be period 1, hydrogen and helium would be in one period. The next one would be lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. Now I will tell you about each category. For example, each group. Hydrogen is not in the group of these: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium, but those are called alkali metals. Alkali metals are um, highly reactive metals. They are not found freely in nature. That means, like, if you want to mine some lithium, you will find it with another metal, and then you have to extract it. Stored in mineral oil solution, they have low melting points, low densities, lower than other metals, low electron negativity, low ionization energy, and they react easily with halogens. The next one we'll talk about are alkaline earth metals. But before that, I'm just going to tell you every single alkali metal. Those include lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium, as mentioned before. But now the alkali earth metals include beryllium, magnesium, calcium, cerium, the other one, then radium. Sorry, I couldn't read it with this line covering it. Um, those metals are usually shiny, silvery white, somewhat reactive metals at standard temperature and pressure. They have low densities, low melting points, and low boiling points. The next one we'll be talking about are transition metals. Those include scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, silver, candium, hafnium, thallium, tungsten, rhenium, osmium, iridium, platinum, gold, mercury, and the bottom ones which I can't pronounce very well. So, transition metals are like the most common type of element on the periodic table. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. They can be hammered or bent into shape easily, good for forging. They have high melting points, but mercury is liquid at room temperature. One such transition metal with a high melting point is tungsten that melts at 3600 degrees Celsius. They are also very hard and tough. They have high densities and they include the most densest things in the whole periodic table, osmium. The next one we'll talk about are post-transition metals. They are soft or brittle, they have poor mechanical strength. Melting points are lower than transition metals. Boiling points are usually also lower than transition metals. They're covalent or directional bonding shown by crystalline structures. They also have a high density, and they include aluminium, gallium, indium, tin, thallium, lead, bismuth, and polonium. The next one we'll talk about are other nonmetals. They include hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, and selenium. They are they have high ionization energies, they have high electronegativities, they are poor thermal conductors, poor electrical conductors, brittle solids, not malleable or ductile, little or no metallic luster, gains electrons easily, and they are dull, non-metallic, shiny, although they may be colorful. The next one we'll talk about are metalloids. They are kind of like metal imposters. They have high melting points, but they can have low densities, unlike metal. But they have high melting points like metal. They look like metals, but they behave like non-metals. They include boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, dentalarium. And oid means like it's somewhat like metal. Halogens are highly reactive. They can be lethal to organisms in sufficient amounts. They have high electronegativity and they can gain electrons from other elements. These include fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and acetylene. They are very reactive to other elements. So, hazard, don't mix them with some elements they can react with. The next one we'll talk about are noble gases. They include helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. These guys are stable, colorless, odorless, the least reactive of all the groups, and they're inert, meaning they are not reactive. They're not that reactive. We will talk about latinides next, and they include latinum, cerium, pyzirodium, neodymium, promethium, samarium, europium, gallium, terbium, dysprosium, holmium, barium. They're kind of hard to pronounce, well, but that's not what defines them. So, they are silvery white metals that tarnish when exposed to air, forming their oxides like promethium oxide, but they are relatively soft metals and they have high melting points and boiling points like metals. Actinides are the type of element you would not like to be near. They are all radioactive. They have the actinides are highly electropositive. The metals tarnish readily in air. Actinides are very dense metals with distinctive structures. They react with boiling water or dilute acid to release hydrogen gas. Actinide metals tend to be fairly soft, but I would not go touching one. They include actinium, thorium, protactinium, uranium, neptunium, plutonium, mer- mercium, curium, and a few others. So the next one we'll talk about are unknown materials. They include, I'm not even going to try pronouncing them, but their properties are unknown, so they are unknown. But they are known, but their properties are unknown. So that's it. And thanks for watching this video and checking out the different categories of the elements on the periodic table. Thank you and goodbye.